51 to 72% of college women gain weight within their first year of college. Now, this statistic is a very broad definition of something called the freshman 15. In 2012, a study was done over the freshman 15, and this study showed that women don't typically gain 15 pounds, but weight gain was still a major concern. There were two people responsible for this study, Dr. Smith Jackson and Dr. Reel, and these two people surveyed over 200 women and asked them a series of questions over body dissatisfaction and the freshman 15. They published this study in an academic journal, and the results showed that these women had a very intense fear of gaining weight and that it was completely inevitable. Now, as a college student and a woman, I too have also experienced fear and anxiety about gaining weight. Now, in this study, there were three major common themes about the concern for weight gain. One of them was that food independence created a lot of freedom to choose between healthy and unhealthy foods. And the second thing is that social comparison only amplified the flaws in these women. And the last thing is that friends and family played a huge factor in weight gain concern. The first thing I want to talk about is food independence. In this study, it is defined as having increased choice over food intake and food preparation. Now, there were a lot of changes in eating habits in these students, and that was a common explanation for the freshman 15. There were a lot of convenient foods on campus. Examples of that is buffet-style cafeterias, fast food, and vending machines. And those played a huge factor in bad choices in food choices between healthy and unhealthy. And there were some women that expressed that they wanted to eat healthy, but fruits and vegetables were more expensive than unhealthy foods such as ramen. And the women that could afford buying these foods explained that grocery stores were not really within walking distance from campus. The second thing with food preparation and intake was social eating. A lot of these students participated in social eating, such as graduation parties, finals, and dating even. And so this didn't really give very much room for good, healthy eating choices. So you can see that food independence played a major factor in weight gain concern. And there were also other concerns such as social comparison, which is the second thing I would like to talk about. Social comparison in this study was explained as comparing oneself to another based on appearance. And what happened was that it only amplified the flaws in these women. So social comparison, what it did was it led to obsessions such as calorie intake, obsessions over exercise habits, and it also led to control issues. So, and it also established an unspoken rule that skinnier is better and skinnier is prettier. And what this led to was that thin women were able to get more dates than women who were overweight. So it was a major motivator for not gaining weight and for that anxiety about gaining weight. So you see that there was a kind of physical aspect, a psychological aspect. The last thing I want to talk about is the influence of family and friends. It wasn't spoken about very much as far as family and friends, but when it was spoken about, it was a negative influence from family and friends. One student said that her grandmother gave her a pamphlet over the freshman 15 and said that it's very important for you to read it. Another student said that her friends played a major influence, and she was very concerned about her friends talking behind her back about the weight that she had gained. Interestingly enough, 3 out of the 5 women that mentioned the influence of family and friends were already overweight. So overall, the freshman 15 is not that big of a deal, but what is a big deal is the anxiety and worry of living with the concern of weight gain. So as you can see from the study, food independence played a major factor because of the increased freedom of choice between healthy and unhealthy. Social comparison amplified the flaws, and family and friends played a huge role in weight consciousness. So I challenge you tonight to, if you're concerned about your weight, that instead of feeling overwhelmed with food choice, feel empowered, love your body, and seek out positive and life-giving people to make you feel beautiful and confident.